Okay, back to chapter 11. This is nonlinear systems. Now, the next section, conic sections, discusses more what these nonlinear systems look like. In the meantime, we are going to talk about how to solve a system where both equations are not lines. Okay, so a system of equations in which at least one equation is not linear is called a nonlinear system. If they are both linear, it's a linear system. If at least one is not, it is nonlinear. Okay, so let's take a look at example 1. I have my first equation, x squared minus y equals 4. Definitely not linear because we have that power of 2 on the x. And that is not as important as what we do to solve it at this point. So I am going to go ahead, let's see, up here the x is squared, the y is not. So in this second equation, I'm going to solve for y. I get y equals negative 2 minus x. And I am going to take this and substitute it back in place of the y. Remember, whatever y is in the second equation, it's got to be exactly the same in the first equation. So I have x squared minus, my y is minus 2 minus x. This all equals 4. That's x squared plus 2 plus x equals 4. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides and write it in descending order, so highest power of x first, then my next x, then my constant. Now I have a quadratic, and this I know how to solve. So I'm going to factor. The only way to get negative 2 is 2 and 1. I want my two middle terms to add and give me this positive 1x in the middle. So I got a plus 2 and a minus 1. So x equals negative 2, x equals 1. Keep in mind, that's just the x. Okay. So now we need to go ahead and plug that in up above. And let's see if we can color coordinate. And solve for y. Each of these x's should have a y. So I'm going to substitute these into the second equation. Let's see, we got x plus y equals negative 2. X equals negative 2. And so y would equal 0 in this case. So we have this point, negative 2, 0. And then we have our other x equals 1. Same equation, x plus y equals negative 2, 1 plus y equals negative 2, subtracting 1 from both sides, and y is negative 3. So when x is 1, y is negative 3. Now, definitely want to plug these into the other equations to check. I get x squared minus y equals 4. X is negative 2. Y is 0. So that works. And same equation. X is 1. Y is negative 3. I get 1 plus 3. That equals 4, so that works as well. So notice here I have two solutions because I had two x's. Each of those x's is going to have a y.